Yo, I've got a new toy. I mean tool. You shouldn't really call these things toys, but you know what I mean. This knife, right, is one of my new additions to my Bushcraft outdoor survival kit now. It's a lot bigger than a normal traditional Bushcraft knife, but I've got a little story about why I've grown to prefer the larger survival knives over your traditional Bushcraft knives. And I'll get to that bit in a minute. But for all intensive purposes, this is the Fox FX-140 XLB by Markus Reichart. Markus Reichart. German name. I don't quite know who he is, but one thing that I will say about the man is he has made a beautiful knife. I mean, look at this. I've got to be very careful about taking this out of the sheath because every time I draw it out, it's that sharp. It catches this little thing, which is a poor sheath design. I don't know if I made the sheath or not, but it cuts this, so that's not ideal. But look at it, man. Look at that. One, it's extremely shiny, which is a good start, but the blade geometry is nice. It's got a nice little drop point here. They've tapered this down, which just looks amazing. It's got a nice big flat Scandi, almost nearly a full flat grind, but it's not. It's just quite a high Scandi. It's got a micro bevel on it, which is not ideal. I don't like micro bevels, but it is very good for the strength of the blade anyway, so I just have to put it on a little jig to sharpen the micro bevel. Now, the story of why I like now the big survival knives over the smaller Bushcraft knives. I've got some very nice Bushcraft knives and the normal traditional size Bushcraft knives. And basically, long story short, a well-known TV program got in touch with me, Naked and Afraid, right? And Naked and Afraid said, you want to go on? So I said, fucking too right, I do, yeah. So they're going to send me to somewhere in Argentina or something like that to go survive in the jungle. And said, you can take one tool. You get a fire steel and you get a pot and you get to take one tool, and obviously it's going to be a knife, right? So, and I thought to myself, all the things that a knife has got to do, the normal smaller Bushcraft knife can't necessarily do because I've got to kill an alligator or something like that to eat it, blah, 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 blah. So I started taking my Karbakar BK7 out with me and playing with it, and just through the process of forcing myself to only use one tool, one knife, yeah, I actually found that I was reaching for my Karbakar. Even when I went back to not using the big survival knives all the time, I had my saw and my axe with me. I just learned how to use the big survival knife quite well. And yeah, I just started taking it out. So I stopped taking my saw, I stopped taking my axe. You know, on little trips like this, nothing overly too. In a full-blown survival situation, if you had them, it would be ideal. If you don't have them, no. The big survival knives, which is why they are called the survival knives, actually do bits. So when I got an opportunity to get another knife, I went for a bigger, nicer survival knife, which is this. And one of the main reasons why I like this more over my Karbakar BK7, because it's basically identical, yeah, is in the steel. Now, the steel on this, right, one is a steel called Niolox, right? Look, see there? Niolox steel. I don't know if you can see it on there. I'll put it on there, on the B-roll. But Niolox steel's very interesting. One, it offers some kind of a property to the steel that increases hardness or allows the steel to not be too hard so that the edge rolls rather than chips or something like that. But it's weird because it's a very poor heat conductor, right? And the steel is just always cold. Like, I get this out now, and the temperature's all right at the moment, but when I do this normally with it and it's a little bit cold outside and my hands are fairly warm, and I do that, it leaves like a, let's see if it'll do it. Yeah, see? It leaves like a frosted impression. Like the difference between the temperature of my hand and the steel condensates on the blade, and it says always, like now it's cold, the steel is just like weirdly cold, right? So yeah, and that's through an alloy that's in it called niobium, which sounds like something from Wakanda or somewhere like that, which it's fucking weird, right? So I liked that. I didn't know what niobium was, didn't know about the cold thing until I got the knife. But yeah, I mean, it's just cool, right? My Karbakar BK7 is just a normal standard tool steel, so I upgraded the knife, and that's the story of why I like the big survival knives. Honestly, if you get a chance to get one, challenge yourself, go out with it, only use a survival knife, I've got another video which I have filmed but I haven't done yet. Yeah, I might even post it just to show you, because it's just easy, honestly. It's very easy. And this is from someone who's done bushcraft now for what, 20 years? All right tool for right job, completely respect that, happy days. But for ease of use, just going out and having a little bit of a camp and stuff like that, you know, taking all the stuff. You've got your saw, you've got this, and then they're all on your belt, okay, no worries. And proper tool management, you know, you get your axe out and then that goes back in the sheath, and then the sheath goes in onto there, and then you get your saw out, you take it out of this little pot thing, my silky. After that, you put the saw away, yep, happy days, and then you get your knife out to put your edge on. Whereas big survival knife, see a branch, take it out of the sheath, bend the branch, put pressure on the outside, whack straight through, chop it off, turn it into, just try it, man, honestly, it does bits. There you go. But now more onto the specific specifications of the Wakanda blade. In fact, now that I think about it, it's more like Norse steel rather than Wakanda. Wakanda can have the vibranium, we've got niobium, the Norse people. The blade is 7.5 inch Niolox steel with niobium. It offers excellent edge retention and it's very corrosion resistant. But another thing that I forgot to mention about this as well is the niobium is a stainless alloy as well. So that's one thing the Kabakar doesn't do, is offers basically corrosion resistance. It's not stainless. And yeah, Norse niobium Wakanda steel doesn't rust. It's stainless, I suppose, which is, it does rust or can rust, but it doesn't rust very easily whatsoever, which is ideal for a survival knife, so I can take it near the water. I won't take it near the sea because salt really fucks steel up, but yeah, I can take it near the water. And the spine on the knife is 5mm thick as well, and it's a full tang, which is standard practice for a survival knife. Unless you're gonna have that Condor whatever, because I was gonna get the other Condor knife, but apparently it's got a hollow tang, so they hollow the middle of the handle out on the Condor. Yeah, so you got a 5mm spine, which is solid for batoning, everything like that. It's going to be absolutely bomb-proof, and it is a full tang. And the handle is a black micarta. Now, I actually have put, and I do this with all of the knives, anything that you're going to be doing this with, right? Because regardless of how ergonomic or regardless of how much of a little finger thing you've got here or a choil here, if you're swinging around a survival knife, your hands are sweaty, you're tired because you've had a long day camping, because you've been out for 4 days, something like that, yeah, it can slip out of your hand. So what I do is one single really long piece of leather, and then I've wrapped it, look, yeah, goes through the handle, and then comes around. So there's actually a piece that comes down here, and then you wrap it on itself. But what I do is I layer the leather so that it's got little ridges that go forwards, so the leather is actually supporting my hand from going this way, right? If you was doing any pushing or thrusting actions, you'd probably want it going the other way to stop your hand from sliding up. But the vast majority of my actions with this knife are going to be drawing actions or chopping actions. I wrap my leather going back on itself like that, so the ridges go this way, so it's bumpy that way. And then the sheath is a beautiful sheath, but in my opinion, it's not ideal. I like the Kabakar sheath. It's got like a little plastic thingy in it, so you can basically just drop it in and it just drop it in and out. And when you stood up and walking around, you can just kind of, I mean, it's not ideal practice because you always should lock your knife in place, but we all do it. Yeah, you just drop it in. But with this, I have to be very careful with how I do. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to make a bulkier leather, because one of my friends, Boya Bushcraft, he makes nice sheaths for knives, so I'm going to go and make one. But yeah, and then I'm going to put some clips on here so I can mount the knife that way on my belt, and I'm going to put a dangler on here, which basically is this with then a small little ring on there, and then another leather one, so when I'm sat down like this, if the knife contacts the ground, it can bend and not just do that and then do that, which is annoying. You know what I mean? Overall, like I say, the blade design and the actual design of the knife is beautiful, brilliant. The Kabakar is one of the most widely purchased and used and known, and it's like that, just with, in my opinion, superior steel. The Rockwell index on it, which is the hardness of the steel, is about a 61 to 62, so it's incredibly hard. But the introduction of the niobium and a couple of other alloys allow the steel to be less brittle basically. So it's got very good edge retention, good toughness, very good corrosion resistance. The only thing is I bet it is a bastard to sharpen, which is why I was apprehensive of the micro bevel, because regardless of how good you are at sharpening a knife, maintaining such a small angle consistently across a very large blade like that is difficult to do. And a knife like that, it's about 215 quid. You do not want to fuck that edge up, so it'll go on a jig. But if it's got very good edge retention, I shouldn't need to sharpen it often. I won't mind stropping it, maybe a little touch up, but I am not doing any kind of like large amounts of sharpening on it, not a chance. So yeah, it's basically exactly the same as a carb car, just a better steel, and feels cool because it's cold to the touch and it's Norse obviously. The only thing is it's pricey, but you're buying a carb car, I think they're about 160 quid anyway, so if you stretch a little bit more you can get the Fox, and plus Fox Knives, man. I believe they're Italian, which is, yeah, interesting. Between the Italians and the Germans, you've obviously got the Italian sports cars and then the German cars. Ooh. So who says that them two people combined aren't going to make some of the most shit-hot steel that you can get? Plus there's Baller, which is a German kind of like a metallurgy company that make a lot of all the super steels, which basically that thing's anyway is a super steel. So yeah, pretty sweet. High Rockwell index, good corrosion resistance, tough. It's going to be a bastard to sharpen, that's the only issue. Because when you're buying a knife, I don't know if you've seen this, but there's like a little 4xs chart, right? And you've got toughness, hardness, corrosion resistance, and ease of sharpening. And your best steels are going to be the biggest web possible. So it's got all of the bits, right? But obviously that's going to be a miracle steel like Wakanda steel. But I believe Niolox would be it'd be high toughness, high edge retention, high-ish corrosion resistance, but then the ease of sharpening bit would be shit. So that's what you would have to compromise on. There's always going to be a compromise on one of the axes on the chart because no steel is going to be perfect. But yeah, other than that, Fox Knives, nice branding as well, like the logo. And plus when you open the box here, the little card in it says that we make it sharp. I haven't bothered you, you've seen enough knife sharpening stuff. It shaves, cuts through paper, it does all of the sharp things. It is very sharp, that's all you really need to know. It's as sharp as what you need a steel to be sharp-wise. It's not like cutting atom sharp, even though it's not too far off, because Jesus Christ, I only drew it out of its sheath once, slowly, and it caught that little leather strap that holds it in. Put a big slice in it, and man, like, fuck me. I was genuinely scared of the sharpness of it. I haven't used it yet because I've been waiting to make this video before I actually used it. But now I've made the video, I'm free to play with it, and I'm camping this weekend. So yeah, that's going to conclude it for this one. If you like this kind of content, bushcraft, outdoor survival stuff, foraging, ancestral health, I'm going to be throwing some calisthenics and some training in there. You just want to do just cool, overly masculine shit, really, then follow the channel. Because fingers crossed with little Aussie, I'm going to be doing more because this has been so easy. Yeah, like and subscribe to the channel, and YouTube thinks it might like this video over here. Click on that and I guess I'll see you there.